We welcome in a man who wears many hats, both literally and figuratively, as he was Freddy Krueger for Halloween, an influencer, aspiring book writer, assistant coach, Big Three star, and 6 year NBA veteran who scored over 3,000 points in his career. His nickname should have been Windex for how he cleaned the glass. The master of Photoshop, as he starred in Rick and Morty, Space Jam, and Friday the 13th. If there's a social platform, this man's already on it. We welcome in the Rhino himself, Craig Smith. What is going on?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me, man. Really appreciate it.
And no problem at all. Appreciate you being patient. We had a little bit of technical difficulty getting on, but Craig's got patience in addition to everything I said about him in that intro.
Patience is a virtue, my friend. Patience is a virtue.
Well, Craig, I want to dive right into it, and I like to start in with the early years at Fairfax High School. I mean, you killed it. Two-time All-City selection, averaging 23.4 and 11. You played at Worcester Academy in Massachusetts as a post-year grad before college, averaging another smooth 20 and 10, leading them to a 27 and 4 record, best in school history. I mean, from there, you just tore it up at Boston College. Your first year, you started 28 out of 31 games, which is kind of crazy for a freshman, right?
Yeah, especially back in that day because like we were just the beginning of really playing like the freshmen. So there was a player by the name of Yuka Agbai. Shout out to Yuka. It's like my big bro. He ended up fracturing his neck. He had like broke some type of bone in his neck. He still played in like the Holy Cross game. And coach comes to me and is like, hey, you're going to be starting the next game. And then I just remember Troy Bell coming up and saying, hey, I need you guys to be more like upperclassmen than underclassmen. So for me, it was just about getting ready to shock the world because I felt like a lot of people didn't think I was going to play at the Division I level or didn't think I was going to be that good. So I just wanted to prove to them, that I was going to be an elite player. And, I had a really good freshman year.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting because you put up similar stats your sophomore and junior year. You increased your rebounds, assists, and steals. You lowered your scoring a little bit. What I think is interesting is your senior year. Boston College made their debut in the ACC. The Eagles won a school record 28 games. They advanced to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 12 years. You're voted an All-American, the first Boston College player to have that honor. You're named an All-ACC preseason team before you even play a game. But I want to go to that Sweet 16 game against Villanova. That's one for the ages. The game went into overtime. You hit the go-ahead bucket. Less than a minute remaining. Will Sheridan hits the game-winning basket on some BS goaltending. But later it came out. You played overtime with a broken hand. So did you feel it was broken at the time? Like, there's no way I know you're coming out, but is it just the adrenaline rush that kept you going?
Yeah, the adrenaline rush kept me going, and I can notice, like, literally, I felt my hand dangling, and I'm like,
Jeez.
"Yo, we'll tape it up." I'm sure it's just a really bad sprain because that's what normally happened, like the last 3 years of my career. Like it was just little sprains, but this one, I knew it was a pop. I didn't care because I'm like, there's no way we're about to go to the Elite Eight. We're about to do something special here. Like, God, you can't like let this happen. And it's just an unfortunate situation. I mean, I played to the very last bucket where we got it, and we ended up losing a terrible way in which, I still have nightmares till this day about that game because it's just, that was the last game of my senior career, and it was really out of my hands, and I thought I put it in my hands after that bucket.
I mean, you did everything you can in that game. Like sometimes it's the team that has the possession last. What I think is interesting, I looked at your senior year and your scoring decreased from freshman to the final season. And your last season, you actually shot the least amount of shot attempts at 11.8 per game. And I feel like a lot of players, their senior year, they want a stat pad, especially if they have a chance of going pro. How come you were more unselfish?
Well, that's just how the success of the team went. I felt like I was a big common denominator, so the one thing I needed to be better at was court vision. Everybody was going to focus on me. I was going to get a lot of double team. I've been doubled since my freshman year, so the thing about me was the court awareness, how I can be better in rebounding, how I can show I'm a player in all these different facets versus scoring, because I'm already putting up 2,300, but in my mind, maybe I should have put up more to try to get 2,800, you know. But at the same time, it's like I need to make a sacrifice for my teammates. Plus, I need the scouts to know I'm just not a scorer at all. I mean, I do other things as good as well. And, I was almost averaging triple doubles in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, you were putting up buckets there, and I'm glad that you like to have a well-rounded game. The scouts certainly noticed. You were
Yeah.
selected by the 36 overall pick with the Timberwolves in the 2006 NBA draft. What'd you drink that night?
Man, I had some Patron. I
Okay.
had some
All right.
tequila. But the
All
first thing I
right.
did, I actually hugged my mom, because it was just like, all that hard work and sacrifice that, I did, like it finally came. This moment finally came here. I've been talking so much, and now it's for real. To grasp that moment was really cool. But yeah, I had some Patron. I maybe had some Don P. I went out to one of
Okay.
the best
And you got
spots
the
in
good stuff.
Hollywood. So I had a good night. I had a good night.
Hey, love to hear that. And because some people we talked with Josh Boone, he said I didn't drink, and I was like, wow, that just deflates the question
Yeah, he
here.
wasn't. I don't think he was 21. So that was my advantage.
Yeah.
When I got drafted, I was 21. So I was drunk.
I love it. I love it. And look, Craig, it's not a guarantee that the second round pick makes the team. But instead, you played all
Not at
82
all.
games, and you started five of them. You averaged 7.5 points, 5.5 or 5 rebounds your first year. You'd play in all but 13 games with the Wolves the next 2 seasons. You started 42 of them. The third year, that's statistically your best career, averaging 10.1 points, 4 rebounds, and assists. And unfortunately, that after that season they traded you to the Clippers. But what I thought was interesting, we rewind one year in the summer of 2008. They signed you to a multi-year extension. 1 year after they trade you. So what's like the landscape behind an NBA trade? Do they give you a heads up? Did Minnesota say why you weren't part of their plan?
No, it's just like, when new coaching systems and new GMs come in, they have a different perspective on what they see going forward. So what may be there may not be there for them to succeed on. So you break the team up. But I felt like you shouldn't have broke us up, because I felt like we could have been as good as OKC. We had a good nucleus of guys who can really score the ball, shoot the ball. We had Al Jefferson, we had Randy Foye, myself, Gomes, Telfair. We were really gelling, and I felt like we could have been something special. But it's just the nature of the business, and when people get fired and new people come in, it's basically like clean house. I'm just thankful I got clean house to go back home versus Utah, or some
Oh,
place I'm very unfamiliar with, because I mean I was in the cold for like 8 years, so it was really too much for me. And it was, so it was like, man, to get me back in some sunshine, really good for the body.
do players really dread going to Utah? Is that like the worst place you want to get traded to?
No, it's actually not. Utah's actually a pretty fun city. Like, there's really some cool things to do out there. It's just the fact that maybe if you get stuck and out there for 3 or 4 days, you may get bored.
Ooh.
But it's a smaller town than being in LA or Miami or New York. You have your really cool places where you can hang out, have some nice food. So um, it's just your preference. But I feel like I've had good good stories in every city I played in. So
I love hearing that. And Craig, you played 2 seasons with the Clippers, one with the Blazers, before playing overseas with Hapoel Jerusalem. I should know how to say that because I'm Jewish, but I don't. Uh, the Hong Kong Bulls in the
Hapoel
NBL.
Yerushalayim.
There we go, man. You're teaching me more about my culture. Sioux Falls Sky Force of the D League, back to the Israeli club. I got to ask, though, do you know your career high in the NBA? You probably do.
I do. I do. I had 36 points against the Wizards, against
Uh,
Gilbert, who ended up being my teammate 2 years ago.
so I figured you knew your career high. Do you know what you shot that game?
Nah, I don't. Maybe like 15 for 18. 15 for 20?
14 of 22. I mean, that's still good. You're still in the zone on that.
Still kind of locked in. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still kind of locked in.
As you can see back there, maybe kind of poorly. I'm a Wiz fan, so I'm kind of glad you dropped it
Okay.
on Gilbert. I probably watched that game, so I'm glad you got a career high in that. And you kind of were telling about the big three. I mean, you played on the enemies, and I know a lot of us, we like watching it. Is the MO of the big three just to have fun, or does the competitive nature and kick in and you're trying to get wins too?
Yeah, I mean, it's always about having fun because that's initially how it started, the game of basketball. But like being that you get back in there, yeah, it's the camaraderie, it's the banging, you want to win. The competitive spirit never dies. And it's just good to be in a league that, even after people say, they don't think you can play anymore, that you can showcase your skills still in America. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
All right, yeah. I was watching the Instagram story you put up, getting a nice little and one. Speaking with
Yeah.
Craig Smith, the NBA overseas guy that knows pronunciation better than I do, and Big Three. So, Craig, we like to get our guests out of here with a little triple play rapid fire, some this or that questions. You probably haven't been asked some of these before. You game?
Nope. Yeah, I'm game. I'm game. I'm game. I'm game. I'm game.
All right, let's
For
do
sure.
it. Let's do it. Win a March Madness title, an NBA championship, or a Big Three title?
Oh,
Oh, we got you thinking right off the bat. I love it.
yeah, man. I guess currently I'll have to say Big Three championship. But I mean, I can't go wrong with an NBA championship either. I mean, I'm torn. But right now, Big Three.
Okay. No social media or no basketball for a year.
Oh, probably
Oh,
no
these are
social
going to be some good.
media. No
Oh
social
man.
media.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Got to
I
keep in
love
basketball
basketball,
shape.
man.
You you can use one utensil the rest of your life. Fork, spoon, or knife. What are you picking?
A spork.
I see that. That's caveat. Everybody tries.
No, I can't say that. Oh no. All right. I would definitely probably say a spoon then.
What? What
Over,
are you
I
going to
mean,
use to cut the edges with it?
I'm gonna cut it with the spoon. I'm a rhino, so I'm
All right.
a.
All right. Fair enough. Would you rather forget who you were or who everyone else was?
I think I'd rather forget who everybody else was.
Hey, you can't forget about yourself, man. You can't forget about the Rhino.
But I thought that was, you said, can I forget about myself or forget about everyone else?
Yeah, so you forget who you are or you forget who everybody else is.
Yeah, I'm gonna forget who everybody else is. I gotta remember who the rhino is.
Hey, that's what people try to play the other answer. Like you're giving the real answer.
Given the real answer. I mean,
All
it's
right,
cool to know everybody, but like, people change. So you never know who you're gonna meet if you get in a situation.
not that's true. What is your favorite breakfast cereal?
Captain Crunch.
Doesn't cut the roof of your mouth.
Nah, see, you gotta let the water sizzle on it a little bit so it makes it a little bit
Wait.
softer versus
Water?
hard. Yeah. I mean, not
You
water,
put
sorry,
water in
sorry.
your cereal?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Sorry. See, you try to nah, I put milk, but coconut milk actually. And I let it sit for like 30 seconds so I get a little softer where it doesn't cut. It's a softer crunch.
I was gonna say if you put water in your cereal, that's a Rhino
Yeah.
thing to do. I like it.
Right?
All right.
That was like back in the day for sure with some pet milk. When you ain't had no milk, man, and you tried to figure it out as a kid, like it was disgusting, but I made it work.
Oh, sheesh. All right, I'm interested to hear your answer on this. Would you rather dunk on Nick Young or pull the ultimate prank against Gilbert Arenas?
Dang.
I did my
Nah, I know
research,
Gil.
man.
Gil's like an official prankster. You feel me? I ain't got time for that.
He
I
is.
might have to dunk on Nick. I might have to dunk
Oh,
on
but
Nick
what if you pooped in his shoes? He did that to Brendan Haywood. You get him
and
with the ultimate
prank
revenge.
him. Yeah, prank. I would have fun pranking Gil. It would be fun because it's like you had to really think about it and catch him off guard because he's kind of on alert. So I'm gonna change my
He's
answer. I'm gonna
sharp.
prank Gil. I'm gonna prank him.
Okay, that's what I was hoping you'd say. And the thing is, that Gil's coming back at you after.
Oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt.
All right, we got a couple left. Would you rather fight Mike Tyson once, or talk like him the rest of your life?
No, I gotta fight him.
Do you
I
think
gotta
you
see
can
it.
take him?
Yeah, I'm a rhino. I'm a rhino. I could take a hit.
Why am I asking that? Why am I asking that? I love it. I love it. All right. Would you rather a bell ring every time you're horny, or never be horny again?
Oh my God. Wait, was it ring a bell? I guess I'll have to ring a bell. Well, I don't
Told you
know.
probably haven't
Wait,
been
can you?
asked some of these.
Yeah, I ain't been asked. So, ring a bell or not at all?
No. A bell rings like a random bell goes off every time you're horny, or you're never horny again.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh man, most people we ask, they say ring the damn bell.
I mean, that's the only answer because
All
you got to
right.
ring the bell.
Craig, I feel like I peer pressured you on a couple of these.
Kind of peer pressure me a little
All
bit.
right. All right. We got the last two. Would you rather be a chair or a table?
Be a chair.
Okay. I like it.
I
The
could be a
last
chair.
one. I leave you open for 10 3-pointers. How many you hitting?
8.
8.
8.
I want video of that.
8.
I
10.
like
Yeah,
it.
I just made 10 free throws today. It's not hard. This for me. It's just
Oh, I said I
it's a
said three
layup.
pointers. 3-pointers.
Oh yeah,
Three
they're layups
pointers.
too. They're layups too.
Okay. Okay. Because
I'll send you some stuff. Now you
I saw you
okay?
made zero in your career, and I know you can shoot. So I didn't know if it was still in your repertoire, but I'm
It's
looking
all
forward to seeing this
mental
video.
and it's all mental and muscle memory. So it's always going to be good. So
Oh man, well, Craig, we appreciate you joining us. Before we get out of here, is there anything you want to plug to the audience? Projects you're working on, where they can find some Craig Smith highlights, all that good stuff.
just check me out on Black Rhino 83 on my Twitter and on my Instagram. And there are some cool things coming out. Like I said, I got some book stuff that's coming out soon. Obviously, I'm doing some new coaching, so I'm coaching the kids now. So that's a good opportunity. But just look forward and stay tuned on the Black Rhino page, Black Rhino 83.
Yeah, Black Rhino 83 on Instagram and Twitter. He's also on TikTok. He's on Cameo. He's on Facebook. He's on YouTube. He's on LinkedIn. He's probably on
Yeah.
AIM. He probably has carrier pigeons made out after him. So if you're looking to find him, you'll have no problem with that.